What is going on, everybody? My name is Brian Hunt. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the shooting that happened in Colorado. It happened with a Syrian male. He was an immigrant. Obviously, he was Middle Eastern, and things escalated. He killed 10 people, including one officer in this incident. And honestly, it is a very big tragedy. I wish, obviously, that this stuff would stop in America, but it's happened twice in 1 week. 2 shootings, major shootings reported nationally, and it seems to be a continuous trend. I kind of find it funny how there wasn't really many mass shootings under Trump, but I digress. We're going to get straight to the point. The guy was a Middle Eastern Syrian, and according to this article right here, he had expressed anti-Trump sentiment, meaning he's not a Trump supporter whatsoever, which destroys the media's narrative, and that he had ISIS sympathies. So like I said, he is not a white male. He is a Syrian immigrant. That also destroys the media's narrative. We can go straight into it. But as you can see from this picture right here, he kind of looks like he's a little brown. He doesn't really look all that white. That was the first thing people jumped to when this story came out. Really just a bad idea. Whenever a story comes out, you need to wait for more information because it just makes you look very non-credible when you come spewing out information that you don't really know what you're talking about. So that takes me on to my next point, which is Kamala Harris's niece blasted white people as being the biggest threat or terrorist threat to our country. As you can see in this tweet I have highlighted right here, the Atlanta shooting was not even a week ago. Violent white men are the greatest terrorist threat to our country. And I find that really funny because if you take a look at our violent crime, it is actually committed, more than 50% of it is actually committed by black males, but I digress. That is not the point that I'm talking about. We're talking about what happened in this situation. It was not a white male. You are wrong. Now, she did come out saying, she apologized for it. She didn't really apologize for what people were mad at her about. People were mad at her, obviously, for saying that violent white men are the greatest terroristic threat. It's not true. We're going to go on to see a list of tweets. You can see from CJ Whirlman. He said that it's a white domestic terrorist. It's just a common trend in these tweets. A white man. You've got white, trying to make a correlation between something, which he wasn't white. As previously stated, he was Syrian. And ironically enough, a Middle Eastern guy, Qasim Rashid, I don't really know him. I've never heard of him in my life. But he tried to make a correlation with him being white. Not white. If anything, he shares more cultural ties with him than he does me. Let's be realistic. Now, Ian Cheong, I don't really know how to say his name all that well. He posted this on Twitter. You can see the tweet coming from the shooter. His name is Ahmad Al-Isa. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but he posted Trump's a dick. He's clearly not a Trump supporter, and that is the narrative being driven always. It is always the narrative that is stuck to. It's right-wing white men who are the shooters, and 99% of the time, it's never that. The shooting in Australia synagogues, that completely destroyed the narrative that it was a Trump supporter or anyone of the far right. A lot of the times, it's not. And this just goes further to prove that. We can go on to this next article I have pulled up, which doesn't really have anything to do with shootings, but you didn't really see this nationally publicized the other day. March 16th, which was 7 days ago, a driver faced vehicular manslaughter charge in San Diego car accident that killed 3 and injured 6. Now, apparently, he was 71. He was having incidents. It wasn't national because he didn't mean to. It's still a big mass. It's not a mass killing because it's not 4 or more people, but it's almost to that point. But let's take a look at what NBC had to say on the situation before they knew the facts. This is a big organization, and according to Section 230, they have to update their articles according to the information that comes out. So let's take a look at the article right now. As you could see, it's a pretty well-stated article. Not too many facts are out of order. In fact, I wouldn't think that one is out of order now because they updated it. But if you look at the Google metadata that I found, all I did was type in Colorado shooter white man, and I had a few articles come up. I'm on the second page right now, but it took me to go to the second page to find this. You can see in the metadata that I have highlighted, this blue text says a white male was shown being taken into custody following a report of an active shooter. Now, that is straight from the article, but since NBC found out the news, they had a legal obligation to edit that out. So it is no longer in this singular article. It's not there. It honestly blows my mind how companies can just go with the narrative, whatever they want, and they don't get backlash for it. The only backlash they get are the people who they don't even expose their media to. So like Republicans, no one's really watching NBC. And that's the people they get backlash from, but that's all the time. So it's not going to give them any less credibility because the people watching them do not care to listen about the facts that they are reporting wrong. But I want to know what you guys think. Why is it always white male Trump supporters are going out and being accused of crimes that they didn't do, or it's just that they put the killer in the place of a fake lifestyle? They're not actually a Trump supporter. They're not actually a far right wing, extremist. It's normally people with mental issues and either extreme religious ties in this case, which is what it seems to be. Now, apparently he is a very devoted Muslim. I don't want to get that wrong, but I believe, yes, right here he's practicing Muslim, arguing against Islamophobia. And again, he was anti-Trump. That is the biggest argument we have right now, and the fact that he is Syrian. We need these news companies to stop making up lies and stop trying to drive a race narrative and seeing everything through the lens of race. I'm going to college right now, and all of my lessons in my English class, while she's an amazing person and by far the best teacher I've ever had in my life, every single assignment we have brought up is about race. Seeing life through the lens of race is a very horrible way to do it. It creates victimhood that shouldn't be thought about. Because if you live a life where you feel like you're not a victim, you're doing things, you're accomplishing things, and then somebody tells you that you're a victim and you start believing it, what is to stop you from going down a bad path? Because you feel victimized, so you're trying to, further push your agenda. I digress. I'm going on way too much on off topic, but like I said, this is just further helping their case. They want to make it seem like white men are the bigger perpetrators to mass shootings, but according to FBI stats, mass shootings are majority of the time black people. Because if you look at gang crime and all that, you have mass shootings, which is defined by 4 or more people killed in an instant, kind of like a spree of killings, and a lot of that ties to gang crime. They normally take out the gang crime whenever they're talking about mass shootings. Very disingenuous. So you could say that black people are the bigger perpetrators in mass shootings. I'm not going to go on about that because I'm just really not going to convince a lot of people. I'm only going to convince my audience, and not saying I have a big one or anything, but I feel like the people who are watching right now totally understand what I'm saying. And it's the way that media is presented. It's the way that facts are given out and not given an opportunity to come out. If we stop doing that, if we slowly start to take a look at, information that's coming out about a person, about a shooter, about an incident, we can report news accurately, and this race narrative wouldn't be pushed throughout America, which leaves us so divided. I'm going to leave it off right there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But for right now, I'm going to head off, keep checking the political news, and I'll see you guys in another video. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Please leave a comment. That's it. I always appreciate it. It could probably further push me into the algorithm, but right now with the engagement that I have going on my channel, it may not seem like a lot to others, but it's a lot to me. Anything really above 20 views is pushing my channel further and further, gaining me subscribers, gaining me traction. So just go ahead, leave a like, do what you got to do, comment. Actually, if you dislike this, leave a dislike. I'm not going to be mad about that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know how you felt, and I'll see you guys in the next one.